What's up, YouTube? This is KingDaddyDMAC, and welcome back to another Pokemon Black and White Wi-Fi battle. Today I got a pretty good match for you. I was looking for some new places to find battles, and I decided, hey, you know what? Let me go find a fan of mine on my Facebook fan page. So I went ahead and did that, came across this guy, Daniel, and we decided to do an OU tier match, so pretty cool. And I'm using that same Roserade semi-stall team that I did before. I know I said I wouldn't, but this was on the same day that I had went and done all the other battles, so I wanted to get this match up. And taking a look at his team, he's got a lot of kind of scary threats that I don't know how well I'll deal with. I'm especially worried about this Hydreigon, just because it can be a great stall breaker, and I'm not going to have a lot of great switches in on it. So anyway, let's see how we do. Alright, so leading off, he's going to start with his Ferrothorn, which is excellent for me because I ended up leading with the Heatran. Pretty lucky there. And of course, going to force him out. He's going to be fearing that Fire-type move, so perfect opportunity. Get those Stealth Rocks up first turn, and really puts me at a pretty good advantage right off the bat. Alright, here, as I told you, fearing this Hydreigon, I got to identify what type of set it is. Seeing the U-turn, I thought he might be choiced, but just in case, I went into my Sableye thinking the other alternative would probably be that Focus Blast. Now, he goes for the Dark Pulse, so he is making some type of predictions here and that I'd probably switch. Doesn't take out the Sableye, and not really all that great, because now that I know he's not choiced, he could go ahead and blast any other type of move that he wants. He ends up switching, which I didn't find the best play. He probably should have went for a Draco or something else, and just try and finish off that Sableye or hit whatever I switched into hard. But he ends up going for the Ferrothorn, which is great, because I went to that Heatran expecting probably the Draco. And again, sort of lucky break, able to force him out. I go because in case he overpredicted, I wanted to be able to nail him. Go for that Lava Plume, just because also I could also maybe burn something he switched into, but I don't get the burn. And of course, I'm going to be forced out because I just can do nothing to this Jellicent. So it does give me the opportunity, though, to go into my Roserade, which is going to be my primary switch in on Jellicent. Now, he probably should have taken this into account, because he went for Toxic. He was predicting me to switch, but he should have thought, okay, Roserade is Poison type, and he'd be immune to that. But what the hell, I'm not going to complain. It's good for me. Give me the opportunity to force him out and get up my first layer of Spikes. Now, the fact he went into the T-Tar, he's probably packing either Fire Blast or Ice Beam. So going to Heatran this turn right here, I'll be able to take either and then protect up and sort of see what type of T-Tar this is. So also I was thinking maybe he could be a Stealth Rocking one, but either way, I want to go into my Heatran and scout it out. So he goes for the Ice Beam, that's good. And depending what he does this turn right here when I Protect will let me know how to react to the T-Tar later. Go for the Protect. It's going to end up failing because he switches and goes in that Jellicent. But this is perfect because I know he probably can't touch my Heatran now. And I'm going to be able to repeatedly just go right back into my Roserade and continue to set up those entry hazards as long as he keeps on playing this way. So of course, like I just said, I go back into my Roserade. He does recover on the switch, so pretty nice, not really taking any damage whatsoever. But he's going to want to do that just so that he can keep on switching in and deal with other threats on my team. But anyway, I'm going to go for the Spikes right here, and of course he's going to be forced out, fearing that Grass-type move. And it goes into the Ferrothorn. Now, this was a little risky on his part, just because Roserades do commonly carry HP Fire, but luckily for him, I don't. Now, I'm thinking he's probably going to Stealth Rock this turn, and I really need to make sure I get my Sableye in before entry hazards go up. I'm not going to be able to prevent it if he does, but I know that without the Sableye on this team, his Terrakion, his Haxorus, they're going to run right through me. Now, on the switch, he ends up going for the Sub, which really confused me. I almost thought now maybe he doesn't even carry the Stealth Rock. So right here, I probably otherwise would have taunted, but just to play it safe, since I really didn't know, I wanted to make sure and recover up in case he got a crit or anything like that. Now, he does end up going for a Stealth Rock, so it kind of sucks that I wasn't able to prevent that. But nonetheless, seeing that he does have it and that he probably is a more defensive set, I'm just going to go ahead and taunt, knowing he probably had the Leech Seed, so I do stop that, which is nice. Then this turn, I can go ahead, freely Nightshade, break his sub because it is under 100 HP. No, he can't Leech Seed or sub up again, and then let me just blast those Will-O-Wisps away. So I thought he'd probably switch right here. I went for the Willow. He doesn't switch, but it's nice. I am able to nail that Ferrothorn, and his leftovers recovery will now be pretty much voided out because of the burn damage. But the taunt wears off, so I want to taunt again. I don't want him Leech Seeding me, and he ends up taking that chance to switch into his Terrakion. Now, I see that he has the Balloon, which is nice, because I know he's not banded, but I don't know if that was necessarily the best switch, because now he can't Sword Dance or Rock Polish, but either way, I do hit the Willow, which is very important. Gotta make sure, if those miss on the Terrakion, it's pretty much good game. So, not liking that, he switches into his Haxorus as I go for the Recover. Now, this probably, again, was not the best play for him, because, of course, I can just Will-O-Wisp right up. And I'm not sure if he just wasn't very familiar with Sableye or what. But either way, I'm able to get that Willow off, and look at that. Pitiful damage. It's probably, I think he was probably a Scarfed Haxorus, so hurts him even more. He's going to make another switch back into his Jellicent, and probably should have been his original switch, that or the Hydreigon. But either way, now I'm a Sableye at full HP, and I've got 2 of his main sweepers burnt. So, really good for me. Alright, here I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to taunt, prevent him from Toxicking, from recovering. But he goes straight for this Water Spout, which does a good amount of damage. I don't think I'd ever use that move on a Jellicent, but it looks like it's doing decent here. I'm going to now switch back into my Roserade and let myself finish setting up those entry hazards. Now he does the Hex, and that I guess is just supposed to go along with his Toxic, but of course, as you know, he cannot Toxic my Roserade. So setting up here, I think, is my final layer of spikes. He goes into the Hydreigon. And again, not the best spot for me. I'm starting to think he probably doesn't have Focus Blast, so I should be safe to go into this Heatran, as I do right here. And he just goes straight for that Draco Meteor, hoping to take out the Roserade. Now, it doesn't do very much, and now he's also at -2 special attack, so I'm not very afraid of anything right here. I do Protect again just to get a little bit more leftovers, plus get a nice little Sandstorm damage on him. So the Sandstorm's ended up helping me out more than him. And this turn I'm just going to go ahead and Roar, because I have 3 layers of spikes up, I have Stealth Rocks up, and there's not really much of anything you can do. So it's not really going to pay off protecting here, since I know he's not choiced, plus he's not going to take any type of damage from the sand. So I switch straight into Sableye. He goes for the Rock Polish, which again was probably kind of in vain. And of course I'm going to be able to just recover up with priority and not really fearing anything that he can hit me with. I guess it's possible right here he could Sword Dance, but it's still not going to do that much. Goes for the X-Scissor, and I'm not sure if that was just predicting a switch, or he just didn't have anything else to really hit me with, or he was fearing the possible miss with his Rock-type move. But nonetheless, I'm just going to keep on recovering up, because that burn damage is just going to rack right up for him and not be good at all. Now, in realizing that, he goes ahead, switches into the Hydreigon. So I'm going to go into my Heatran, knowing that I should be able to take anything he has, and he goes for the Dark Pulse. Now, I'm guessing that his final move is probably a Fire-type attack, which is why he never used it, afraid of that Heatran switch in. And at this point, he's going to die to Stealth Rock damage switching in again. So he just bites the bullet, does all he can, does the most damage possible, and does that Draco. And assuming that, I go ahead and Roar. So now the Hydreigon's going to die next time it's switched in. And this Jellicent, he's probably going to recover. That would be the safe move. So I just, in taking a little bit of a risk, end up going for the Roar. And it does pay off because he does recover. And not so bad. Get the Hydreigon, of course, going to die from those Stealth Rocks, and he's going to be able to bring in whatever he wants freely. So he ends up deciding on the T-Tar, and I found it kind of odd. I didn't really think he could do anything to my Heatran, but just to be safe, I went for the Protect again. Get a little more HP recovery, and see that he goes for the T-Bolt. Now, I don't really want to take any more damage on the Heatran in case I need it for that Ferrothorn, so I go into the Rachi. Should be able to easily take anything and then be faster and kill off with the Iron Head. So ended up working out well. At this point, Rachi doesn't really have any more of a use in the match. He went into his Jellicent, and I figure he'd probably recover because I know he can't do anything to me that would hurt. And I'm just going to get off a Witch so that I can switch into something else freely. Now at this point the match is pretty much already decided, or I should say definitely already decided, so I'm going to speed it up quite a bit. He doesn't even bother going to third cover, he just goes ahead and does the Water Spout, which I did tell him you gotta ditch that move after this match, go with Surf, go with Scald, something. But anyway, go ahead, kill him off with that Giga Drain, and he's got one move that he can do with the Haxorus. I figured it would be the Outrage, and he makes a great prediction here, and instead going for that Earthquake to hit the Rachi or the Heatran if I switched in, but just not going to be enough with that burn. So now he goes in the Terrakion. I expected he'd probably Earthquake again, but I really don't care because, once again, this Rachi just isn't really necessary anymore in the match. So seeing that he went for the close combat, I go ahead for the Dragonite this turn. If he had went for that Earthquake, I'd be immune, or I'd take that close combat easily and I get the Witch recovery. And now he can't switch out because he would die to Stealth Rock, switch in, and can revenge with that extreme speed. So now this brings him into his final Pokemon. I'm stuck in the extreme speed because I'm banded. I'm going to switch out into the Sableye just because I'm going to want to taunt him up. Make sure that he can't do repeated Leech Seeds or sub up or anything like that. Anything that's going to delay the match anymore. Get that taunt off. And this turn just switch into my Heatran, which can easily take that Power Whip and just KO for the victory. So here we go. Heatran takes the Power Whip and does get a crit, but not enough, and boom, Lava Plume. So great game, Dan. So a lot of fun. I'm going to probably try and find more matches more often on my Facebook page, so if you guys aren't following it, make sure to go do so, and maybe you'll see me and get a battle. Either way, guys, hope you have a wonderful weekend. As always, comment, like, subscribe, and peace out.